Alrighty, guys, welcome. Thanks for joining us today to learn more about LinkedIn and building professional presence. I have Kushi with us today to talk about LinkedIn and all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to her and let her start us off.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone. My name is Kushi and I am a staff member here at the CPDS office. And today we'll be talking about LinkedIn and networking. So it's basically how to create your online presence and some best practices when it comes to networking. Let me quickly share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Share.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to get started already. Sorry about that. We're decided to do an update right at
Hmm, Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. Um, our agenda for today is basically to know what is networking like and how to build your online presence on LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure you guys know about LinkedIn, and also how to network on LinkedIn. Networking. So networking is basically making connections and building up your professional relationships. It could happen in person, LinkedIn, or Zoom meetings. And social media is also a very good platform to network with other people and employers. It's basically receiving and giving out advices, building up contacts, and looking for that career opportunities and that career support. It's basically connecting with potential employers in any field or in a particular field you're looking at, and also opportunities to engage in mentoring. Who can be in your network? It could be anyone. It could be your friend, it could be your classmate, it could be your supervisor, your current or former, it could be the TAs, the teaching assistants, since they already know how to score that job. So it's very important to network with them. Your professors, your advisors are really important, and it could be your family members. This one is really important, the ASU alumni in general, because they have been in the same boat as you are right now. So they know how to get that particular job. So it's very important to network with them and ask questions. How can you build your network? Social media, like I said, is really important. Sending a good message, a professional message to any formal employer or to any professor also makes a big difference when it comes to networking. Attending networking events is also really important. I know our department has organized previous career fairs. I know this semester there were three big fairs, and it was very successful when it comes to networking. So attending networking events is also really important. Obviously, creating your online presence, like I said, LinkedIn is a very good platform. We'll be talking about LinkedIn after a few slides, but LinkedIn is also a very good resource to build up your online presence and to network. And also, keeping in touch is really important. Just make sure that you're connected with your other peers, your other professors, or the TAs, since it always makes a difference. Why is networking important? I know that 80% of the jobs which are in the market are secured through referrals. That is basically through networking. So it's really important how this professional world works. Also, it provides job security, since it always pays if you know any other professionals in the same department or in the same field, if you're looking for other jobs. And also, it gives professional growth and knowledge. So, how can we start networking? Again, attending employer events is really important. Career fairs, we also organize resume reviews with the previous employers. And I know there was one held last week, which was really successful. And students have the opportunity to meet other employers and also get feedback on their resumes, which resume actually gets you a job. It's all explained there. So it's really important to attend employer events as such, career fairs, conferences, and professional organizations. So Handshake has a lot of different opportunities. It's always updated with all the incoming organizations or presentations or events as such, and students can look at them. And it's a very good opportunity to network and build professional career. Also, building your LinkedIn profile is also important. I mean, this could be a start when it comes to networking, because you're just making sure that you're laying out your professional competencies through LinkedIn. Networking, what to do, what not to do. What to do is following up, prepare questions, research about the particular field or about the particular job you're looking for. Make sure that you look interested, very interested in that particular job. Make sure that the employers know that you have researched about that particular job or event. What not to do, obviously, just don't go straight away to the employer asking for a job, because it looks very unprofessional. But yeah, following up is very important, and preparing professional questions, just to know more about their company, or just to make sure that, yeah, yes, I am interested in that job. So let's talk about LinkedIn now. Like I said, LinkedIn is a very good social network designed for the purpose of your professional life. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram. That's more basically showcasing your private life, but LinkedIn is a very good opportunity to showcase your professional life. Why is LinkedIn important? Again, like I said, building your professional presence is really important. Showcasing your professional brand to the world. It's basically you're providing all the information which an employer might need in order to recruit you. You're providing your school, your degree name, your major, your peers. You're connected with your co-workers on LinkedIn, and you can learn more about the jobs and internship opportunities which you could scroll through on LinkedIn. Search for jobs and internships. LinkedIn is a very good resource for other jobs. I know I've been looking for internships during the summers, and LinkedIn has done wonders with that, because, like I'm also a student and I've been focusing on internships and jobs, and it's basically a very good resource for that. And I also know there was a study which said that 9 in 10 companies use LinkedIn. So it's basically a very good resource just to get recruited. Now, focusing on how to build a profile, um, LinkedIn, like employers, I know that 80% of the employers, if they get an application from you, they always look for your online profile, and LinkedIn is the way through it. So building your profile is really important. The first step starts with your picture. Some tips: you should be alone, which is very obvious. It should be from shoulders up, and there should be a smile, since it looks very professional, right? With a neutral background, I would suggest white any day. I've seen a lot of pictures with other background, and just white just looks more professional. And there's no need of a fancy photographer in general. I know when I clicked my picture, I just asked for a friend to do that. So it's basically very easy, but I would say it's the first step, because employers, while searching through your LinkedIn profiles, your picture is the first step they look at. So I would say it should be very professional. Um, Definitely not like this. No, a big no. Maybe for Instagram, but I wouldn't suggest. For LinkedIn, this is a very good example. It's very professional dress. And also the picture should be very bright so that it just focuses on the headshot. The second step is really important too. It's the headline. It's basically mentioning your major, your university name, and the location of the university. It's the headline is just after your picture, so it's very important to mention your university name since employers want to know what university you're graduating from, and what area you're based at, depending on the job. How to create your headline, avoid overusing buzzwords. Just make sure that it's very professional. Student as ASU looks fine, but they want to know what major are you majoring in, what degree you have.
He's here.
Okay, yeah, what major you have, what university name. So they want to know more about what kind of job you're looking for. So in headline, I would suggest write more about the particular job you're looking for. For example, it could be a summer internship or an software engineering job, seeking a software engineering job. That is a good headline. So I would say that, yeah. About
If I
is
could jump in really fast. Another note with headline is just that you want it to make you want to include all of those things, whether you're a student or whatever job you're looking at, but it's also a great opportunity to show a little bit more about yourself. So going beyond that basic step and saying, and this and this. So for example, I believe mine right now is I'm a program coordinator, but I'm also an experienced designer and I'm human centered. And so just having a little bit touch of extra makes it attention grabbing and faster for companies to get to know who you are.
Yes, that's very important. And with that, I would say the third section is also really important. It's basically the same thing. It's basically explaining more about yourself. So here in this section, I would say just also mention what kind of field you are interested in working, and also mention a very powerful introduction, because it's basically a summary. So like you write a summary for resume, it's basically mentioning the same thing, your interest, maybe showcasing a little about experience. But for experience section, that's the other section where you will mention a lot of detailed version about your experiences, mention your strengths, and what next. By that, they mean what kind of job you're looking for. This is a very good example for mentioning all that in this section. And make sure that you read through it, because this is how, like, this is how it should be perfect. Like here, the student mentions the university name, what field they are passionate about, and what kind of job they're looking for, and a little bit about their experiences too. So it's really good to mention all of that in this section. Moving on, the fourth section is also really important. It's about education. So it's basically mentioning your major, your degree name again, your university name, and also the dates of graduation. Dates of graduation is really important because employers want to know what year you're at right now, and also mentioning your GPA, since GPA always matters. And also, I would suggest that if you guys have Dean's List, I think GPA 3.5 or higher gets you a Dean's List. Please mention that. Don't hesitate in not mentioning that, because it's always a plus. So I would suggest that. And moving on, experience section. This is the one of the most important section, because here you're describing more about your past experiences with jobs and internships. Employers want to know what kind of companies you've worked with before, what kind of internships you've had before. So try to expand as much as you can in this section. I would say using accomplishment statements is also really important. It's basically writing more about that particular experience you had in a more detailed way, where you mention all of the positive outcome you had with performing that particular job. So for example, okay, never mind. That slide is missing, but yeah, I explained that slide too. It's just basically mentioning, the positive outcome you had. I would suggest for each experience, try to mention at least 3 bullet points, and just try to make it as professional as you can, mentioning all the skills you performed with that particular experience. So that's a very good opportunity to mention all of the experiences you had in the past. Moving on, there's also this section it's called volunteer experience. If you guys have any volunteering experience, don't hesitate mentioning that, because it always makes a difference. And also mention the dates when you did that particular experience. They want to know for how many years you had that particular experience, right? So I would suggest that too. Seventh, this section is really important. It's the skills section. It's basically showcasing all the skills you have, and it makes a lot of difference since employers want to know what kind of skills you are at right now, and they want to know more about you through these skills, and it makes your profile shine out. Basically, in order to explain skills, there are two important skills. One is specific and the other one is general. For specific, I would suggest that students should write more about the skills which are very related to their major. So for example, if I'm a software engineering major, I would mention about my coding skills in general. I would mention about Java, C++, Python. So those are my specific skills. And for general skills, I would mention other related skills such as leadership, communication, or okay, yeah, something like that. So leadership, communication, other general skills. So I would say that, but mentioning all of your skills is really important here, since employers want to know um, that this potential candidate has these particular skills and I want these skills with that job, right? So I would suggest that it's really important. Now, moving on, building your online presence. Building a profile on LinkedIn is one thing, but keeping it updated is also another thing, and it's really important. How to build my online presence on LinkedIn is I would suggest to follow groups and organizations you're interested in, like and comment on posts. Also follow or connect with with some of your with most of your coworkers and your other previous employers, since it makes a difference. Also add knowledge, share industry information, post about what you're interested in, what do you like the most about that particular field. Show your interest through LinkedIn, join groups, contribute to the discussions. It's a really good strategy to showcase the employers that you are very interested in networking professionally, and the employers know that this candidate is a very good potential candidate, since they are very inclined towards getting updated with all the job postings and internship postings. So it's really important to be up to date on LinkedIn.
A note with that as well is I feel like some people are often intimidated by having to post on LinkedIn. So a great way to start is even just to engage with different people's posts, whether that starts as just liking and commenting, and then build your way up to, and you're going to repost it and share some of your thoughts. And then eventually get to the point where you want to post your own things. Those are all going to help you network and connect with different people in your same thought circle. And that's a great way to start, even if you're not ready to be like, oh, I'm going to post right now. You can start by just engaging in different ways.
Yes, that's very true. Engagement is really important. Like I'll also suggest to follow other employers and to connect with them. So for example, if I'm a software student, I follow all of these big companies, Apple, Google. So it makes the difference, right? It shows that I am very tech interested. So it makes a big difference to be online and updated with your profile. Next, moving on, how to network on LinkedIn. Like I said, 80% of the jobs which are recruited are basically through referrals, and referrals only work when you're networking, right? So networking is really important. LinkedIn is a very good resource for that. Um, what I would suggest is that building up connections on LinkedIn it's best way to network. So if you have any other previous professors or TAs or other co-workers, just try to connect with them and try to follow up with them with a professional message. The message should include who you are, reminding them who you are, how you found their profile, and why you are interested in reaching out to them. So this is a very good example for typing a message to to other people, so that it definitely makes a difference, because it shows that you are interested in that particular field or job posting, and it shows that you're reaching out to them for help. So it basically it's very important to do that. Connecting with ASU alumni is also very important. There's also a resource. Yes, so there here, if you guys could just scan this, it's a very good resource where you can look up other ASU alumni in general, and it's basically a list of other previous employers with different fields, and it's really important just to like follow up them. Moving on, this is a sample message. Here the message looks very professional. Here they're talking about why they're interested in that particular field. And here they also mention if you could have 15 minutes to spare for a conversation. So it basically makes a big difference, and it's very professional to send a message like that. So yeah, like I said, LinkedIn.
There was a question in the chat and I just wanted to address it. I mentioned one of the things, but it was about the 10-4-2 strategy. So just to go into a little more detail, you want to get your name coming up on LinkedIn, and the best way to do that is to engage. So the 10-4-2 strategy is 10 likes, 4 comments, and 2 shares. And that's what you should relatively aim for every week. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to accomplish that every week, but if you can go on, and I think the best way to do that is to just set aside about 10 to 15 minutes to go on LinkedIn once or twice a week, and that will help you engage with different things and get you going up there.
Yes, that's very important. I'm glad you asked that. So it's a very good resource. I mean, it's a very good strategy to make you look like that you are very updated on LinkedIn. I know here at the CPDS department, whenever like potential employers come, and they always go through LinkedIn of other students, other potential candidates, and they always look if the students are active on that particular resource, right? So it's basically how to be active and more updated on LinkedIn. So yeah, basically using LinkedIn to follow companies, it's really important. Whatever field you're interested in, try to follow other organizations in that field. Makes it look like that you're very interested in that particular job listing or opportunity. Also follow hashtags. Hashtags also make a big difference. It mentions your profile name whenever you follow a hashtag. So it makes a big difference. And also follow influencers, any people who you think they could be a mentor, or they could be a good influencer for you to join that particular job or internship. Follow them. It makes a big difference. If you guys have any other questions, I'll be happy to address them. But you guys can also scan this barcode, and it's basically also addressing other questions related to LinkedIn and networking in general. But yeah, that should be it.
Thank you so much. I have one more thought to add while you guys are thinking about any questions. LinkedIn is such a great resource, and as you go through these in-person things to network, LinkedIn is a great follow-up resource. So when you connect with someone at a career fair, or you connect with someone in any different setting, the next step is to then find them on LinkedIn and send them a message with your request. When you do that, you want to make sure that you kind of remind them how you know them, say, oh, I met you at this career fair, I wanted to talk about this, or it was really nice to meet you, or something to that extent. so that you can finalize and build that connection with them moving forward. On that note, does anyone have any questions? Okay, awesome. If no one has any questions, you guys are free to go. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event.